All right, we just got to the Timberline Lodge trailhead. We are getting ready to do the Timberline Trail clockwise around Mount Hood, which is around 40 miles, around 9 to 10,000 feet elevation gain. You're just getting loaded up. We're gonna get started.
What'd you end up? Did you end up just bringing?
For this trip, I have the Hyperlite Junction 3400, which the Junction has this mesh pocket on the outside. Got the Durston XDome 1 Plus. Just putting on these called Dirty Girl gaiters. These work awesome. Little Velcro in the back. Then I've got the Brooks Cascadia 19, the Hyperlite Versa pack. Let's get after it. Going up behind the lodge up on this trail, then it tees off, and we're gonna do clockwise. So goal for today is Ramona Falls, is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Ramona Falls, and then Cloud Cap, and then back. Unless we die. We have officially started. This is a portion of the Pacific Crest Trail. Here we go. I think that's where the trail registration was supposed to be, but we will carry on. So we're coming up to the Little Zigzag River, which looks like there's no water. Very cool view of the mountain right in here. We're about 1.07 miles in. So here's a good view of Mount Jefferson. Again, that's Little Zigzag River. So. 2.4 miles in, we're coming up to this is Zigzag Canyon Rim. .13 miles in, got the Zigzag River down there. We're gonna start going downhill a little bit before we've got our first little incline, and then it's really downhill. All right, we made it to Lost Creek. We are doing a little bit of a electrolyte stop. So the water filter, I've got the Ceanoc Outdoors Vecto X 2 liter, and then I have the Platypus Quick Draw, which this is my first trip using it. So far I'm liking it. That's the difference between the 2 liter and the 3 liter. Size doesn't matter.
Average.
Right? Here we are at about 7.5 miles. I believe that's Paradise Branch Falls. Just a sheer drop off. That's crazy. That's huge.
Better.
Little snack break. It is about, I don't know, 120. Just over almost 9 miles. But taking a little break. What are you doing for lunch?
Sweet and spicy tuna creation.
I have a Bobo's PB&J I stole out from my kids, a kind peanut butter dark chocolate, and a chocolate chip cookie. Health. That's the Sandy River, about 10 miles in. After the Sandy River, it's gonna go kind of parallel to the river, but this is where I'm terrible with directions, so the importance of following GPS. Today we're using all trails. This is Ramona Falls, about 11 miles in. So we've decided, we filled up our water bags, but we're not going to camp here. We're going to try and find a spot down the road a little bit. Really love having this mesh pocket so I can put things like the water in here, and I'm not too worried about it collecting the water in the inside the pocket. Pretty good blowdown around mile 12. If you guys ever do this hike, take full advantage of these little areas where the water's coming down. It feels like the air conditioning's on. All right, we're at mile almost at 13, and we've got a pretty good vantage point of where we're heading, which is way over on the other side of that ridge. What do we say about that? All right, it is just after 5. It's 5:03, 13.84 miles in. We're gonna call it for the evening. Found some decent spots right off the trail. Trail's that way a little bit, nice and wide open, and there's some water that's down that way. We're gonna see if we can go get to. So we made it, night 1. Got it.
Right now, huh?
Godspeed. All right, I have the Durston XDome 1 Plus. It's a one-person tent, and it's probably my 3rd or 4th trip with it. This is a cool feature of this, is it's not even staked out, and it still has a little vestibule, the way that this is designed. So, little one-person tent, but plenty of room. Footbox, it narrows down, wider at the head, and then it's got these magnet stops. Carbon fiber pole set. You can pitch the outer first or the inner first. I keep it all connected together just for ease of setup. All right, talk me through your setup.
Okay, this is the HMG Gear solo tarp for canary cut. It only weighs 5 ounces. Paired it with the Pariah Breeze Bug Bivy, budget ultralight option for tarps. It's surprisingly comfortable, but it is very tight. So if you're a bigger person, it's pushing it for room. But for how compact it is and how wide it is, it makes a big difference on these big hikes. Take they've got grommets up here on the front. I kind of just start at my usual, like what I hike with. So the narrower you go, like such, the taller you can make the overall. So you kind of just like put the stakes in like halfway till you feel like you're gonna get your desired height. And then, so it's they're finicky. It takes a little bit, definitely takes longer to set up. Then take out our bug bivy, and you got a zippered end top here, and then you just kind of thread it through, and you take this top line, and they've got these loops right in there, I mean, you don't need to do anything super fancy with it, but just do one little slip knot. And I feed it back through. Not like that.
Cool.
I'll do that same on the other side, and then it just stakes out. That's it.
Nice. My battery bank only has USB-A out, USB-C, and micro USB input. My Apple Watch is USB-C, but I learned you can charge your watch from your phone. Our campsite's over there a couple hundred feet, but we're gonna cook right here. We've seen some bear scat and some bear signs, so playing it safe tonight and gonna cook off-site, and then we're gonna hang somewhere out here. Buffalo style mac and cheese. It's weird. If you're not super familiar with these backpacking meals, they all have this pack in here that you need to take out. Well, you don't have to, but I wouldn't recommend eating that.
Alright, let's do.
After 5 minutes or so, you want to give it another stir. And make sure you get the corners of these bags because some of the seasoning will get stuck in there. Topping off dinner, we're having good old Hershey bar for dessert. I normally like Snickers, but this is what I had. Cheers. All right, we're just getting washed up down here at the water, and then we're calling it a night. We're gonna try and wake up early and hit the trail, so we'll see you in the morning. All right, it's close to 7:30. We're calling it a day. We're gonna try and wake up early and get an early start. We've got probably 14 miles tomorrow to the Cloud Cap campsite, so we'll see you in the morning. It's about 6:37 right now. We had full intentions of waking up at 4:30 or 5, but our alarms went off and we said, nope, time for breakfast, and we're gonna hit the trail. Tastes like instant coffee. All right, we are all packed up. We are gonna go to that water source where we saw last night, and then cross in our sandals, and then we'll put our shoes on. All right, we're at over 14 miles. This is the Muddy Fork. We just gotta find a good crossing. I'm gonna check over here.
Yeah, it looks like the trail runs right down
Up that way?
there.
Oh, okay.
That's refreshing. That feels good.
Yeah, it does. So we are almost 16 miles. There was an option to do a cutoff trail that would have cut off an extra mile, but looks like there's some, oh, there we go, some views of the mountain. So don't do the cutoff trail just to save an extra mile if you're looking for some good views. Or do. All right, where are we right now?
We're right here. And we're gonna end in this area tonight, over in the Cloud Cap Saddle or the Tilly Jane area. So cool. This is a famous like outpost, rescue outpost. And now it's just it's this abandoned stone structure. So cool. It'd be fun to take a look in there. So
we are gonna continue on that way. There it looks like the PCT is that way and that way. But we're gonna carry on. We are 16, just over 16 and a half miles. It's about a 1,800 feet elevation gain over 3 miles, so not too bad, but a little bit of a grind. Through the trees, let's see, way off yonder, that's Mount Rainier over there. We're continuing up and we're gonna have a good view of Hood here in a minute. Well, for you guys it'll be like 4 seconds. For us it'll be a while. All right, it's 11:04. We're just taking a quick little break, loading up on some electrolytes and a little snack. This is my lunch for the day. Range meal bar, chocolate, peanut butter, and coffee. 700 calories, 18 grams of protein. That looks dense. That's good.
You guys got like a breakfast burrito or something?
I wish. I wish.
We'll share a pizza.
Yeah. Have a good one, guys.
Parts I can actually go to now. Good.
Dude just doing a full-on sprint up the hill. We are at just under 20 miles, so we're almost to the halfway point. On we go. All right, there's a good view of the three mountains. Helens, Adams, and Rainier. And Hood is right around the corner. All right, we are about 21 miles, so I think it's safe to say this is about the halfway point. Hood's peeking through the trees. We passed a guy earlier. He said there's an inch of rain in the forecast for tomorrow. So we are debating on going a little further today. We went, what did we go, 14 miles yesterday?
yeah, 14 miles.
So originally today was gonna be a 16-mile day. Oh, look at that. So we're thinking we might take advantage of the nice weather and probably do a weather forecast on the Garmin and then see what we're looking at. So time will tell. This is called the Cairn Basin Shelter. A little cool little shelter in here. It's got a little fire pit. Looks like a decent cover for inclement weather. This is actually off the trail a little bit, so we're gonna get back on trail and try and get back to Cloud Cap. Headed to Cloud Cap. Taking a little lunch break right now after the river crossing, drying out the shoes and the socks, and then we'll continue on. Take the soles, the insoles out, and shake out your shoes because there's a lot of sand and grud that'll get put in there, and it'll help dry out the shoes. Time to get them back on, and then we're gonna hit the trail. But right after that waterfall that we were just at, there's a decent amount of elevation gain going up and up, but overall I think we'll have 4 miles until we hit our designation for tonight, which we're shooting for Cloud Cap. See what the campsite situation looks like. Some of the ridges we've gone by, if you trip and fall, you're done. So be slow, be smart, be careful. Mile 25.6. Onward.
Right now the running distance is 26.32.
Okay. All right, we're at 27 miles. We just came from that way. Pretty good views of the mountain range, and we can actually see where we're going. That's Cloud Cap, but the trail goes that way. We'll be there soon.
The trail may go that way, but we have to end up down there before we can go uphill based on the trail graph, which will be type 2 fun.
Type 2 fun, if you don't know, is not fun to do, fun to talk about. Type 1 is fun to do, fun to talk about. Type 3 is not fun to do, not fun to talk about. So we're trying to keep this a type 1, type 2 trip. So far it's been type 1. Woo! I'm gonna get the trekking poles out. A little steep.
That is steep.
5:17. Cloud Cap's on the other ridge. But we're getting closer. We are heading down, down, down. We've got a pretty good river crossing. It's gonna be the Elliott Branch. And then after that, it is up to Cloud Cap. We're hoping to be at camp by 6:15 p.m. tonight. Yeah, you can see pretty good crossing. I hear there's ropes on this one you have to get across. And you can actually see the trail right across there going up. Are we having fun yet? And we're still going down. All right, so we have made it to the Elliott Branch. Appears to be a pretty serious crossing. Saw a guy using a rope to go up there. All right, so the plan is go down that way, go across, and then try and cross there, and then we're going up. One final push to the top. 9 switchbacks left. Mountain Hood peeking over the ridge, taking it nice and easy. Oh. This final push to Cloud Cap is no joke. One last little peek at the mountain. We're almost there. 6:15 on the dot. Most of the campers are over there. We found a spot that's pretty small, but I think I'm gonna set up there. It's graded down, but we'll make it work. Oh, dude, it feels so good to sit. Oh. Yeah. Backcountry bison bowl for dinner. I'm starving. Shelters are set up. I'm gonna eat and then call it a night. We'll see in the morning. 5:17, we're just getting the last of our stuff packed up. And then we'll be hitting it. The wind is absolutely ripping. When I walked to the bathroom a few minutes ago, the sand was just blowing in my eyes. And there's like people's chairs scattered everywhere, so can't imagine there's going to be much footage before the sunrise, but we'll see up there. So we are currently at Cloud Cap, which is right basically at the base of this big incline. So that's going to be the start of our hike, and then big decline, pretty plateaued, up and down. Got a descent and a big ascent, and it should be around 13-ish miles. It's a little bit windy up here. It's hard to see on the camera. I took some pictures. 7:15. The mountain is completely socked in and the rain has begun. Luckily it's just a light drizzle, hoping it stays that way.
I think our view of the mountain's done for today.
Yeah, agreed. All right, we made it to the highest point, about 7,300 feet, just over 2,000 from Cloud Cap. We got rain jackets on, and I think we've seen the last of the mountain for the day. All right, we're coming up to a pretty big snow crossing, so we're gonna probably put some crampons and a rope up for this. Gonna be Gnarl Ridge Shelter Remains. That was Newton Creek that we just passed. Now we're going up that way. About 7-8 miles left. We are soaked. But we'll get there. It is 10:05. We were both ready to be done. Soaked from head to toe. I'll tell you what, that was pretty tasty. Range, they're based out of Camas, Washington. I'd never heard of them, but I picked these up on Garage Ground Gear. Go check them out. And that'd be Mount Hood Meadows. That must be the South Canyon.
What?
The South Canyon.
Oh!
Oh, that was deep. Oh. That's what I should have done. Violent glacial stream, that sounds exciting. Was that our last water crossing?
I think so.
Alright, last water crossing down. One final push, and we will be there. That's where we just came from. Alright, there's the first view of Timberline Lodge through the trees. It's crazy we crossed both of those. There's the parking lot. We can see the truck, but I wanted to actually complete the loop. There's the lodge. We did it. Let's go home. All right, one word to describe this trip.
Relentless.
I like it. Get out there and do something cool.